Hello, Sorare community. My name is Ryan, also known as It's Haber, and this is the Sorare channel that I've been wanting to make for a very long time, but have not made for a very long time. Now, the reason why I haven't made this channel for a very long time is because I am pretty stupid, I can't lie. I'm pretty dumb, and I am a little bit nervous that there are people out there that are stupider than me that listen to my stupid stuff and then go and act on my stupid throwaway comments or whatever and then lose money because I'm an idiot and they're even dumber because they listen to an idiot like me. So I have refrained for a long time, and I feel like now I'm at a point where I think I'm a bit more sensible and I understand this platform a bit more, and I also am very clear not to follow my advice on literally anything. I'm not really going to give advice on this channel anyway. I just kind of want to look through galleries, talk about players, talk about lineups, open rewards, that good stuff. And I thought it'd be finally time to properly enter the Sorare community with my own channel and get involved because, yeah, I feel like I've been in this community for a while now, but also not at the same time. So I think it's a good time to finally get involved. And I've been on a few John Ellis podcasts now, so I've got the confidence. Let's do it. Now, today's video is actually pretty much just me talking about my journey, I guess, on Sorare. Like, you know, the moves I've made and what I've done to get to this point. Discussing my gallery, rewards I've won, poor decisions I've made, and things like that. So I think, first of all, we can look at the gallery and we kind of take a look at how things, like, I'm going to move myself down. Whoa, move myself down here. How crazy is that? The power of OBS. My gallery currently sits at around 45 ETH. I think I've had a high of like 55 ETH before. And as prices have come down over the last few months, especially over the World Cup period, it is definitely dropped down in price. I'm hoping it goes back up, because if not, then the retirement plan is out the window. So this game week, for example, we can quickly have a look at it. I've had a stinker. I really have. So I don't think I'm going to win a single card. Sorare data has me predicted at 88th for my All-Star Rare Pro team, which is really annoying. You know, Kim putting up a big score, my boy Vito picking up a great score, Sean doing well, Sorare keeping the clean sheet. Man like Gorian, bro, I just bought this guy as well. I bought him at pretty much the peak as well, and he goes and has his first stinker in about 10 games or something. Maybe not, maybe like 5 games, but frustrating one. That was a last-minute purchase. It was either between him and Teddy Tumor, and the guy that had the Teddy Tumor was being a prick with his price, so I literally bought Gorian to Gorarian, sorry, to kind of like spite that manager selling Tumor, and he ended up getting the price that he wanted for him anyway, and I look like a twat because I'm going to lose out on a reward for being a stubborn arsehole. But that is so rare, I feel like. Throwaway lineup, and then we have this pain, this monstrosity. Yeah, so 100 points from Smau, 64.8 from Unistal, 89.1 for Proper. Joey Veerman didn't play because him and Van Nistelrooy have royally fallen out, and for some reason Van Nistelrooy is being a stubborn arsehole, more stubborn than me, and not playing him. I was 85 away from a tier 0, 26 away from a tier 1. So, I mean, Tadic getting a DA would have been nice. You know, he almost got one for Bergwijn at the back post, but that led to Bergwijn getting the assist, which actually, did that stand in the end? Okay, so it did actually stand. Unfortunately, Tadic getting a 61 with no DA is crazy to me. So yeah, Veerman missing out. Really frustrating, unfortunately. Even just captaining Tadic would have probably got me a card here. But I think Proper might also be getting a last man tackle, which could be crazy, because then he obviously goes to 100. I get an extra 13.5 points. I don't think it's enough to get me a card, but you never know. Champion Europe Rare Pro was actually pretty good. Adam Hlozek, you know, balling out. This boy, I think, is a future star in the making. I won him a little while ago, and I just kept him for once. I usually just sell everything, but I kept him for once. And yeah, he's come back with a bang. There's potential there. Trippier is the biggest cheat code in this game right now, right? Like, we're talking about the best defender in the platform. He's just ridiculous, man. He's so good. I absolutely love carrying Trippier. Ginter and Flecken. Woof! Boy, you guys stunk, didn't you? And then we have my boy Joshua Kimmich, who is just reliable. Oosterwolde was me being an idiot. He's actually moved to Fenerbahce now, I believe. So I've been told anyway, by Twitter, and I believe everything Twitter says. So yeah, Oosterwolde has apparently moved to Fenerbahce. If I did my research, I could have played someone else there. Didn't, because I'm stupid. So there you go. And then the Ghent game got called off. Not that Jesper Karlsson did anything anyway. Did he get any big chances created? No shots, no big chances. I feel like Jesper Karlsson, He's such a great player to have, but he's just not getting those DAs right now. Maybe he's going to hit them in abundance, but the fact that he's getting those 50 to 60 AAs without DAs is good. I know as well, by the way, it might be super zoomed out. If you're watching this on mobile, I do apologize. I'm just going to flex on you right now. As a Samsung partner that I am, I've got a really sick Samsung screen that's absolutely massive. And unfortunately, it's like 4K and stuff, so everything seems really zoomed out because it's just a massive screen. Apologies. But yeah, so I'm hoping that we can see some of these scores back from Jesper Karlsson, some of these like 80s, 90s, 100s, which if he adds more DAs to his game at the moment, he'll be getting those. You know, he definitely was on for a 100 game last week. Pavlidis being just being Shrek for a week, realistically. Man had clubbed feet, I swear. And then I've no idea why Vazquez didn't play. Schaefer, I know why. I'm pretty sure he had like surgery or something. Ivan Delic playing appallingly, and Roque Mesa, he got 5 AA off the bench. Did he really do anything? Nah, not really. Got an interception. It is what it is. Anyway, enough from that. I'm just waffling. This will be a channel of waffle. My 414 points in common though. Take it. This channel will be literally a channel of pure waffle. But that's where we stand. Recent moves. I've recently brought in Joseph Paintsil super rare and Teddy Chuma rare. We finally bit the bullet on Teddy Chuma rare. Joseph Paintsil super rare as well. Big purchase for me. I really do need a top tier super rare forward. I'm just hoping I haven't made the mistake of doing what I usually do and buying at the peak of a player's score, because he is, for the first time in his career, on electric form right now. And I'm hoping that I haven't bought him here and then he's just going to get 40s and 50s now. I know there's another lad, Saw, who could be playing for Genk at some point. I don't know. I'm hoping I've not made a mistake there, but you never know. Anyway, today I thought I would literally just go through and look at some of the players that I've had in my gallery in the past and some of the teams that I've had. I think the best thing we do is start off by looking at rewards. Now, my total rewards valuation is at 8.92 ETH. It's actually been over 10 ETH before, but then it's gone down as ETH has gone down, I think. Like, I'm not entirely sure why. And I've kept 1.42 worth of rewards. Total ETH earnings at 1.7 ETH, which is a lot more than I thought, actually. I have won one division before. That was Champion Europe Rare, which I've been told is the hardest division to win. So the fact that I've won that division is huge. I actually think, to be honest, Champion Europe will be where I have the most success in the future as well. I think that's like, in terms of cards and value of cards, I think I'll probably have a lot of success there, as I have a very strong Champion Europe Pro team. But yeah, so in terms of rewards, last week I won a Pepe. I actually swapped it for a random goalie that I sold. Pepe is just so, like, his value is just tanked recently. I mean, look at the last two sold, 438 and 403 pounds. I look at things in pounds. I apologize, I'm an idiot for that. But yeah, you're looking at like 0.34 and 0.32 ETH. The guy that I traded him in for sold for like 0.6 ETH, I think. So like, big trade. That's something that's available to everyone, by the way. I didn't know it was even available. That's not a content creator perk. I actually don't get perks from Sorare, contrary to popular belief. Sorare don't give me any free shit or anything like that. Like, I don't get perks or anything like that. I'm partnered with them, so I do have a paid deal with them. I am on the payroll, I guess, or whatever. But like, I don't have some like crazy like deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, a lot of people in the Sorare Discord last week thought I was like one of their golden boys for some reason. It's definitely not the case. But yeah, so Pepe, that was the first tier 1 I've won in a long time. Prior to that was game week 323, so there was a 12 game week gap between, obviously, the World Cup, you know, and you know, since then I've had people like Timu Puki, who served me really well, Hlozek, Kim Min Jae, Martin Pais. I went on a really good run of form, actually. Game week 318 to game week 323, 4 tier 1s and a tier 2 was huge for me. To be fair, I was really happy with that. Prior to that, we've had people like Dimitrievski, Andy Robertson, Sadio Mane for winning Champion Europe Rare, which I was actually quite disappointed with at the time, but we ended up getting a decent price for him, so I was quite happy with that in the end. Williams, who was actually a pretty decent tier 2 at the time. Gerson, Anthony Lopez down here as well. I don't know if my face cam was blocking that or not. Brandon Vazquez. So yeah, we've had some pretty decent rewards in my time. My first ever good reward being all the way back in game week 254. It was a tier 2 that actually sold for about £800 at the time. But it was crazy because I just had the craziest luck this week with and unluck, I guess, at the same time. So we came 32nd in Champion Europe Rare, back when you got a tier 2 for 387 points. Clean sheet from Chesney was huge. Danilo with a quality game at centre mid in this game as well. He played at centre mid and had a fantastic game. Was absolutely quality. Lewandowski scoring himself a couple of goals. That was back when he was at Bayern. I took a massive L on this card. Actually, kind of didn't at the same time. And then we have Marco Verratti, and then Payet, who was really unfortunate, created a big chance that didn't get converted, and also they got a penalty that he, for some reason, as a penalty taker, let Milik take. Shocked. Tier 1 was 12 points away, 24 points away from a Tier 0 5th place, and only 38 points away from the win, which if he'd have scored that penalty, we're probably looking at potential podium, I feel like. I don't know if it would have been, but, you know, it would have been very close. So it's a very unfortunate scenario there. And then we have my River Plate boys down here. Wow, I remember those. Christ, I lost a lot of money on those. So yeah, quite unfortunate really in that regard. Quite unfortunate indeed. I was rather unlucky that week, but we still got a very nice reward. I was happy. And then All-Star Rare, we didn't even get the E threshold. We got ourselves 198 points with Berger, Melling, Christian, Roldan. Yeah, it wasn't great, but that's not the first... that's not the first game week that I ever played. I don't actually know my exact first game week, but I think it is this one. My first ever game week with teams, I think, was game week 242. I think 4th to the 8th of February. I went out and bought 2 United players. I bought Tellez and Dallo. Dallo would have been a great pickup right by now, actually. And then I bought this guy, Hamdi Okujobi and Eric Ramirez with Tino Casale. This is back when I didn't actually know what Sorare data was. So I bought players off of Sorare through the auction market, not knowing who they were, and then bought this Champion Europe limited team, which cost me, by the way, about $5,000 at the time or something crazy. Like Vinicius Jr. was like 1.3k. I think Robert Lewandowski was about 1.3k. Parejo was about 600. Lafont was about 800 for limited, which is crazy. Let me see who this guy is. Where is he playing right now? Almere City in the Erest Divisi. Nice. This guy plays for Gimnasia La Plata. I guess he's still all right. You know, he's not too bad. And then Tino Casale is actually not bad, I think. Well, he's not great. Doesn't really keep a lot of clean sheets, but, you know, there you go. So that was very interesting. Did I not have any lineups before? Oh, I did. I had limiteds before this. That was my first rare lineup back then. But I had limiteds before this. And as you can see, zero research. This is back when I got into Sorare because Net was talking about it. I had no idea what I was doing. But I want to see where the first... So this is the first like proper lineup I ever put out, or the first 2, should I say. So I had put an all-star rare lineup out with Unestal Bruce, Manfred Fischer, and Luis Suarez. Actually, not an awful lineup. Almost got me a reward. 22 away from a tier 3. Common Disassi in there, which is unfortunate. But this is like the first proper all-star rare lineup I ever put out. And then this is the first Champion Europe rare lineup I ever put out. I paid a monster £7,300 for Lewandowski, which, by the way, right, only 3.2 ETH back then. You can't see it, but it was 3.2 ETH or £7,000. I then actually traded them away for what I thought was a really, really good trade, because at the time, Payet got a big injury, right, and Lewandowski, you know, he was starting to fall off a little bit. I managed to get a trade of Payet and Lewandowski for Neymar at the time, which I was very happy with, because Neymar served me very well. We'll get onto that in a moment. So yeah, Lewandowski in there. Kimpembe I bought because he was good at FIFA. Strakosha, I actually don't think was a bad pickup at the time. He was doing okay for Lazio, to be fair. I can't believe he doesn't even get game time for Brentford. But he was doing okay for Lazio back in the day. Like, he wasn't a bad goalkeeper, in my opinion. And then Payet, who actually ended up being one of the best pickups I made. I did buy it at the very peak. I bought it for 0.7, which at the time was £1,700. But he was great for me last year. Like, he was great last year. If we go to all time, last year he was hitting some monster scores, man. He was great last year. And to be honest, now at the price of like £90, if you were able to overcome when he gets on the pitch, essentially, it's not a bad pickup. I feel like at 35, he could get a move somewhere in the summer as well. He's one of those, though. I don't know anything about Payet, but like, he's one of those I look at. I just think, wow, he could get a move to, you know, a Challenger Europe or an MLS team or something like that. And he'd be a monster because he's still a great player. I would like to find my team. I had a team with like Ben Yedder that I that's not it. I had a team, essentially had a team where I had like Lewandowski. Before I got Lewandowski, I had Ben Yedder. I want to find this team because it's actually hilarious for me to look at, because I remember buying Ben Yedder simply because he was OP on FIFA. Big mistake. I don't think I'll find it. I don't know what game week it was, but I remember buying Ben Yedder because he was OP on FIFA. And I lost so much money on him. It was just really stupid of me. This was the weekly challenge. I don't even remember those, to be honest. Dion Loppy, the first Super A I ever bought. How's he doing these days? Dion Loppy. He is at Rems, doesn't really start anymore. Somehow got a red card but played the next 2 games. I don't know how that works, but fair enough. 20 years old, under 23 for 3 more years, sorry. Yeah, no, not a great pickup for me, boy. It's Haber. Robertson was a quality pickup for me as well. Robertson was fantastic for me. Sorry, anyway, again, this is just all waffle for me. So, my biggest reward ever was Sadio Mane in game week 305. This is a quality team as well. So, game week 305, Champions League week as well. It was this season. Manuel Neuer putting in a huge shift against Barca. What I loved the most about this team is that I had zero hopes at all. And the reason why I had zero hopes at all is because Neuer against Barca, I fully expected Barca to score a goal. They didn't. Shock. Theo Hernandez was coming off the back of Milan getting railed by Zagreb away. I wasn't expecting him to put in such a shift against Zagreb at home. I expected Messi and Neymar to ball out, and picking the captain between these two was the most essential part about it. And I got very lucky that I picked the right captain because, you know, at any given point, Neymar can drop 100 points or Messi can drop 100 points. I ended up being 15 points away from second place. But if I captained Neymar, I would have came second and not first. Maybe even third, which is huge. And Kimmich is just a Rolls Royce of a player, isn't he? So that was absolutely fantastic. I was very, very happy about that. And I won a Sadio Mane for that, which was fantastic. I was very happy about that. But what I do want to look at is... There's been a few weeks where I have had stinkers. And I think game week 301 is one of them. Game week 301 is a week where I've had a stinker, right? I did win a tier 1 in the end. In All-Star Rare. Neymar, Messi, Davy Rofe, Theo Hernandez, and Haney Mukhtar. Now, I was 38 points away from winning this division. If I scroll down a little bit, you see that 95-point score from Ngaju. All I need to do was play Ngaju over Theo, and I was so close between those two, and I actually picked Theo over Ngaju because I thought Anderlecht was a harder matchup. Now, if you'd have asked me who to play in those two scenarios now, I've learnt you always match up the defender and goalkeeper because of the upside of having a defender and goalkeeper together. However, back then... my dumbass didn't do that. And also, I, of course, captained Neymar this week and not Messi. And I lost the luck battle in that regard. And unfortunately, missed out on potentially winning the division again here if I'd have put Ngaju in and captain Messi. But obviously, you know, if my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike kind of thing. You can't sit there and get upset about that because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, hindsight is a bitch, isn't it? So they're kind of some of my more... I don't even know the word I'm looking for. There's some of the interesting lineups. I mean, we have 318 where I would have Kim Min Jae. I don't even remember the lineup I had for this one. This was All-Star Rare Pro. Here you go. So the Twente boys again. I can't wait for the Russian league to be back. By the way, cannot wait. Trippier balling out over here as well. So that is really interesting. I had Super Rare Kerchikov. I don't even remember that. And this is where I had Flecken. Oh, Champion Europe Rare Pro. Here we go. This is what I won Kim and Jay in. Flecken, Jule, which is annoying because if I'd have bought Ginter back then, 64 points for Ginter is an extra 13-point swing. We get a tier 0. I do this a lot, though, where I sit there and I'm like, if I'd have done this, if I'd have captained Neymar as well, because, you know, I do 100 points for Neymar, 83 for Messi. That's what I mean about figuring that out. And then, obviously, we have the boys here. Didn't really work, did it? Did not really pay out. I've had this Genk stack for so long. So in terms of my teams though, and my lineups, I thought I would kind of talk you through as well. To end off this video, I'm just showing you guys my like gallery basically, and talk you through like what I have and what I'm running and stuff like that. But if we look at sort of my teams and what I'm going for, what I did was I built up, I want to say it was 3-4-3, all the potential lineups. If all my players are playing, and I can show you guys, I'm going to go here as well. This is going to make life a lot easier if I go up. Oh, there you go. We're up here now. If I go up here, it's going to make life a lot easier to show you guys through my Sorare lineup. So, if everyone's fit, I can have some pretty strong lineups. So, like, matchups dependent. This is obviously, I'm not going to actually run this for 3-4-3. It's just to visualize the potential lineup. So, starting off with All-Star Rare is, for me, every week a throwaway of just the extra cards that I have that I don't use, and the same with All-Star Super Rare. But Champion Europe Rare Pro, we have a Freiburg defensive stack of Flecken and Ginter, followed by Kimmich, Neymar, and Messi. Kimmich, Neymar, and Messi are like a three-piece. I just think they're all so fucking reliable for 100 points here, there, and everywhere, basically, that I just run those three in the same lineup all the time. So we have Flecken and Ginter, and then I have some flex options. So I have super rare Kim Min-jae if I need him. I am looking to pick up a rare Mere, and I have a couple of the super rares that I can throw in there and whatnot. So that is kind of my like Champion Europe Rare Pro team. That's the strongest team that I want to put out, matchup dependent. It's brilliant because all I have to do is basically get a good matchup for Freiburg, because any matchup realistically is a pretty good matchup for Kimmich. He balls out in almost every single matchup. Same with Neymar and Messi, unless it's like a Champions League night and they're against a fantastic defense. The only problem is that PSG play Bayern. So I'm going to lose midweek utility on either Neymar and Messi or Kimmich, which sucks. I kind of want PSG to win it because I've got the two players with midweek utility, but you know, we'll see. Then we have Challenger Europe Rare Pro with a Twente stack, Teddy Tuma, and Tadic. This is probably my strongest lineup. Now, I probably should play this in Gas Pro, but you're going to see why I don't play it in Gas Pro. But I think that my Challenger Europe Rare Pro team here is my strongest five, dependent on matchups. So this week, for example, would be perfect, right? I've got Twente against Groningen, I've got Tuma against Zulte Varagem, and I've got Ajax against Cambuur. Even though they're away games, Bar Tuma is still a fantastic, I think that's like Tuma, I don't know. It's still a fantastic set of matchups there. We have the Genk stack plus Jesper Karlsson. Now, Jesper Karlsson's a good flex option as well, because I have Ibrahim Salah and I have Adam Klozek, who both can be put into different lineups if they have fantastic matchups, or they can be put into this lineup if they don't, and Genk don't. Like, they're good flex options. Jesper Karlsson can be put, if they have a great matchup, into like All-Star Rare Pro, for example. All-Star Rare Pro is actually a Darmstadt stack, or defensive stack, plus Hadzimetovic and Joseph Paintsil. I'm still working on that. That may change. I think the Darmstadt stack will actually end up being played eventually in maybe All-Star Rare or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I'm still figuring it out. I need to build up a bit more depth in Rare, and we'll see what happens. And then I have Second Division Europe Pro, which is, again, just 5 random players from different teams that all have potential to do really well. All-Star Super Rare is just what I have left over. Lassashon is actually a really good depth option if he has a good matchup. Jelly Vossen, I don't know why, but for some reason I just keep him all the time. Should get rid. Kim Min-jae's phenomenal, and he's a card that I want to keep for a long time. I just think he's going to be a very, very good card in the future. Dario Melniak is, again, just a flex option, I guess, and Mignolet's been shit. I need to get rid of him. He's awful. He's crap. Just Bruges in general suck. But in terms of my lineups, they could be better, and they will get better. But what I like about my lineups is I like having an idea in my head. Okay, on good matchup days, this team plays there, this team plays there, this team plays there, this team plays there. If I have loads of different players from loads of different teams, I get severely overwhelmed and I have no idea what I want to do. So having the visualization, okay, knowing, okay, Twente go there, Genk go there, Freiburg there, PSG there, you know, Trippier's got a great matchup, he needs to play here, for example. You know what I mean? Like, so that's like really important for me, having those lineups visualized. So that's why I do something like this. But that's pretty much it for like my like gallery kind of look over. I haven't won a card in a little while. I've been very unlucky. Last week and this week were very unlucky for me. So last week, game week 337, I had a similar thing. I had a no-show here. I was 73 points away. Did get a big chance missed from Salah as well. Doesn't help. So that one was tough. But back-to-back good games for Twente, I'm happy about. And then we have, Champion Europe had no chance. Second Division Pro didn't really have a chance. I was 10 away from a reward, sadly. Salva Sevilla let me down. Same with Nyom. Had a big score from the Genk boys. unfortunately, I captained the wrong player. If I captained Jesper Karlsson or even Van der Voort, we get a tier 2 rare, but sadly we didn't. The Genk boys kept a clean sheet and overall had pretty good scores, 80 pluses for both defenders, but unfortunately Jesper Karlsson didn't get the points, and Trezor had a terrible game. So it was one of those where it's like, you know, 377 points is tough to miss out on a reward, but at the same time, like, it is what it is. You can't be too upset. So, yeah, I've been a bit unlucky. Sadly, this week and last, we have been very close to getting big rewards. And again, just far off. You know, Gas Pro here is like, I think probably about 3 points away from getting a reward. If Gorion just like did something, like a shot on target or like an interception or like a second tackle or something. Second tackle would have been huge, actually. I don't know. And then, like, you know, if Veerman even gets on the park, we get a card here. If we get the 30 points for Veerman getting on the park and him being my captain, even for a minute or two, I probably maybe get a tier 1, likely a high tier 2. Frustrating one. It happens. I totally get it, but I'm looking forward to future weeks. But the Sorare channel is up and running finally. I'm excited. Sorry about a super long rambling video. All the videos on this channel will just be me rambling. That's kind of what I do all the time. I can't lie. But this channel will just be me rambling about Sorare and stuff like that, and like strategies, ideas moving forward and things like that. So if that's what you're into, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have people on and talk through their strategies and stuff as well. I'd like to go through people's galleries and talk about their lineups and interview them based on their lineups and stuff. So that would be interesting as well. But thank you all for watching. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel, and more Sorare content to come soon.